Hello, everyone, and it is just me for right now, but I will be. There we go. First map going to be split. This is going to be the 7th game out of 7. I think Overwatch works that way, but 7th game out of 7 in the Valorant season here on NECC's sort of time slots that they have. This will be the last game before playoffs, and it's the exact situations are kind of up in the air, but we'll see how this game goes, and I hope that everybody goes into this really high spirits, and I hope that maybe we can still have some fun. I think that we're nearing the end of the seasons. It's a little bittersweet, but I really hope that the entire team can really, I don't know, maybe an ISO pick, maybe we throw them a curveball, throw them a Yoru, things like that. But I'm really excited. I'm really excited for this game. And so just want to look at comps really quickly. We have Snam on that Astra. I think that's pretty staple pick. Pierogi on the Killjoy, staple pick. Blimey on the blanking on the name, Sky. There we go. I say staple pick instead of listing every single one of them. This is a team comp that I think has been crafted through fire and flames. I think that this is something that we've sort of meticulously put together. The only thing that I think is a little bit less practice is Whisper on that raise, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think that's something that Whisper has been wanting to do more of as of recently. Starting on the split, we will be defense, which means we'll be the blue team to start out. And who are we going against today?
Southern Virginia University.
Southern
SVU.
SVU or Southern Virginia University. I'm just saying it twice so that I have it in my brain.
Dun dun,
Yeah, Law and Order. We're gonna bring the dun dun down on them with this head tap, hopefully. Nope, gonna unpeak that. That's a little bit scary. Ooh, Whisper taking a little bit of damage in vents here. Gonna have to back out. That's way too much util. But Snom's gonna be able to find that Viper on B, or I guess on A site, sorry. So that's a really nice pick that you were able to take out their controller, or one of their controllers. They are running the double smokes. But you're able to take out a controller for them as well as a lurker. That's really nice that you're not really having to worry about that as much right now. So Blimey just gonna have to back up. I think this is definitely a give them space moment. This is a Whisper cannot get out of vents, throwing a little bit too much util at Whisper, not able to move. But it's still a lot of util that Whisper's able to sort of bleeding them from. I don't think I've termed that correctly, but they are gonna get onto the site. Just throwing the KO flash in order to deter, but we're going to be a full team here. We're going to be able to take out that suppress. We're going to have utility for this. We need to push on. We're going to be cleared left and then right. Snom is going to get taken out. We've cleared Raptors. Raptors isn't there, and Ixora able to find one, but Pierogi and Ixora are going to go down. Blimey able to get the KO. Whisper falling. It's just Blimey, not able to finish it off. An unfortunate first pistol round, but pistol rounds is kind of one of those things. You can be really good at Valorant and lose a pistol round that was sort of in your favor. Kind of just happens. You have to look up when you should have looked down. But I will say clearing out rafters and then still managing to get that pick is really nice. I don't. To be clear, I don't think that was a looked up when you should have looked down. I think you gotta clear what you gotta clear. But going on into this next round, this is gonna be a little bit not in their favor. This is going to be a pistol round for us, and it's going to be a either force buy or, depending on what all got used, it's more of a rifle round for SVU. Snom is going to get taken out pretty quickly by a Spectre. That nade hopefully doing a decent amount of damage to the Viper. Oh, pulling out the knife so that you can back up into the ropes, but it was just not fast enough and ended up getting taken out by the vulnerable. Sora only has 1 health. Really hoping for a lucky right click here, but at this distance, it's kind of hard to anticipate something like that. I'm gonna choose to believe that was a get this round over with quick and not accidentally walk into the raise nade on your right. But a lot of mollies. I think that's something that maybe Center should be catching up on, is that they like to burn utility, and being able to bleed a team of utility like that, somebody who commits so quickly. I think that's definitely something that you can maybe take advantage of. Starting into this third round, this is the round that matters. This is going to be round 3. This is whenever we actually have rifles. The enemy team at SVU will have their rifles unless they're deciding to try and run this force. Trying to win the force is a little bit scary, and so I completely understand if they decide to throw out those Spectres and buy rifles. But at the same time, they have the lead. They can afford to lose said lead, but who knows? With the momentum that you gain from winning that rifle round, if Center were to win this, it's absolutely fantastic momentum, and really nothing compares to it. So you kind of have to weigh out your options. Do you want to risk it? Do you think you can pull it through? Because if you can pull it through, you've basically taken the legs out from underneath center for the next 2 rounds. So it's something that you have to sort of weigh in and out. Pierogi, being the only one that can readily fight this, is going to push forward, which is interesting. Not waiting for team. They like to commit heavily, and so hopefully Pierogi can try and get somebody off guard. Nice. That's really good. They throw out a lot of utility, and then they back off, and they try something else. That just means that they're going to be a little bit less wealthy going into their next push. They're not going to have as many abilities and things like that. So it's really nice to see that we're able to do something like this. Ooh, unfortunate, we're not able to take out that KO. Snam is going to fall. Going to drop the Guardian for the Vandal. Hopefully we can pick up the KO. Nice, able to burst that KO down. So that's a trade. That's a trade right there. And the rifle is still in the hands of Whisper. That's a little bit of an upgrade for Whisper, but you of course want your full team to be there, so it's not an upgrade as in the round. There is going to be somebody in ropes that takes out Whisper. Unfortunate. Ixora on the point. They aren't able to really get on here because they don't know who all is on A site. Ixora is the only one, though. Ixora playing more of a defensive position while Pierogi and Blimey are trying to push in through CT, and it just doesn't work. Pierogi and Blimey not able to take anybody out, but Ixora able to take out the Astra, but no one else. Ixora is going to fall to that Cypher. So that looked like it was a little bit of a hybrid round. I believe some of them were running Spectres and some of them were running rifles. So it's unfortunate that we lost it, but at the same time, they were running those rifles, and it's kind of just going to be, they have the little bit of extra cash, and they have the momentum morale-wise, and all these different things. There's a very decent chance that some of us had to buy lights in that situation. I know Whisper had to buy that Guardian. You know, just little tiny detriments. That just means that these next few rounds, in order to turn the tide, we're going to have to try some cheeky plays. We're going to have to maybe rush forward with this Ghost, which I really like the idea, but the camera spotting you instantly is not great. I think this may be a little patented, tried and true Bucky round situation, if we can get that rolling, but that's just my personal opinion. As we push forward, Snom not backing off from this. That Viper smoke is down, and you can sort of push through here in this single moment. Whisper able to take out the KO in mid. It's really nice. But Whisper does get traded. The rifle is kind of hard to compete with. Oh, the Boombot just doing too much damage to Snom. Snom having to just sort of take the L there with a Ghost into a Boombot that is going to be incredibly difficult to spam and kill. And then while the Boombot is peeking you, you have a person peeking you. Nobody really expects that from you. That is kind of just a do as much damage as you can, burn them as much money as you can, but these Ghosts aren't really making for good weapons at the moment. I like that we were able to save, but I'm almost a little bit scared that we didn't almost full save, because I think some of us bought lights, some of us bought sheriffs, as we can see from Ixora. Granted, this might be somebody else's sheriff, but it's just one of those things. You always, on a round that we know is probably going to end up being a little bit either hairy to pull off, or is going to be a loss that you're trying to get as much sort of resources that you can out of it. In a round like that, you always think back to the buy phase, and you're like, oh man, I really wish I had just bought Classic. I really wish I hadn't bought this Sheriff, because it doesn't look like it's gonna work out. I always do. I hate whenever they decide to push on A and they take out my A defenders, but I'm all the way on B and I can't really do much, and you just don't have the right gun for the job. And I think that might be happening in some of these situations, to where the people in mid are fighting and they're able to pick up the guns in mid, but then really anything else beyond that, they're having to push through the ropes. It's such an awkward angle, and these long-range weapons that you were using in mid aren't really useful on A, and maybe they are on B with Heaven and stuff like that, but they're definitely more niche whenever you're not standing in the position that you bought before. Ooh, that's some nice damage on both sides. Both sides able to just take a big chunk of health out from I believe that was our Astra that we were able to heal right back up, and then their Raze. Ooh, a little bit more damage to the Raze, but not able to find the head tap before the Raze can. They're going to rush up in here, but that Molly's going to get taken out. Oh, goodness. Incredibly scary. Blimey with the 3K. That was fantastic. The Molly gets pulled out, and so Blimey is able to easily get that first pick. And then the second person peeks. Blimey doesn't even give them a chance to shoot. And that last one, while it was a little bit scary, it was still a pretty clean kill. Blimey is basically full health pushing into this last fight here. There's only 2, but there's 4 for us. So Blimey is going to try and lead this charge with Whisper here. The flash goes out. Whisper able to turn that to light flash, but not able to find a kill. I don't think you can really duck under that, but Blimey able to find the KO. Nice, and that is an ace. That is an ace for Blimey, an absolutely fantastic play. You really can't wish for anything better than that. You know, it's really unfortunate that Snom had to fall there, and Whisper did too, but at the same time, I think that Whisper dying there means that Blimey is sort of able to live there for a little bit longer, and I think that this goes either way. If Blimey dies, then I think Whisper is able to carry that on and able to turn that into a double kill like Blimey did. But at the same time, it's just a little bit sweeter because it's on Blimey and we got that ace. It's really, really nice. You know, splitting a 3K and then a 2K. So, you know, it's nice for financial situations, but at the same time, Blimey gonna have a little bit of a pocket change. I will say I do think Whisper messed up that Molly. I think that might have gone back. I could be wrong, but that showstopper is going to take out Snom. Really unfortunate that we couldn't get around that. I think that pushing through here, Ixora not able to find one. It's just Blimey and Pierogi. Blimey and Pierogi gonna have to take out 5, not knowing where anyone is. Sees the KO, can't quite find the KO. You know, it's really unfortunate. They were able to flawless that round. We lost our rifles, but hopefully we were able to, in the win, sort of preserve some of our money, and we can still run rifles this round. We're getting pretty close to the first. Let me rephrase it. Let me phrase it correctly. We're getting close to the first half of the first half. It's just something that we're at round 7, so that means that half of this first half is gone. I don't know how to explain this without it being incredibly confusing, but people need to start looking at how the rest of the rounds will be run, because there's very few of them left that you can really sort of play around, and you have to think, okay, do I run the classic? And it does look like we're running somewhat of a. We decided not to force. We decided not to force, and we're running these classics and things like that. Not able to find anything. So now I'm having to playing really forward with the classic, and I like that play style. I like to just hope for the right click, and this neural theft is kind of scary with Whisper being right behind those smokes, but I like the way that that's played. But at the same time, you kind of have to pray. You kind of just have to hope and pray and really just guess on getting the right click. It does look like some of us were able to force buy a little bit. Ixora buying heavies and the Phantom, but not able to surpass that Viper's Vandal. Pierogi is going to be able to get the Viper. Pierogi is going to fall to the KO. Going to try and peek this KO. Nice, able to get the KO with the Stinger. 1v3 isn't impossible, but it's going to be pretty difficult. Ooh, the head tap. You can see the sort of blood spray come out, indicating that it was a head tap, and just the distance and the fact that it's a Stinger. It's just really unfortunate that that was the guns that we had in hand. We are going to be popping this timeout right here. I think that this is a necessary timeout, because they have officially hit 6. That means that they are halfway to. Sorry, I don't know why I'm phrasing it like this. They now cannot be negative going into the next half. They can only draw or win this particular half. So it's a little bit scary. It's a little bit, you know, you're very much playing for the second half. This first 12 rounds will either go 6-6, or they will, at the very least, the SVU will have 6 rounds. So something you have to consider is the fact that technically we're not going to win this round. We have to try and even this up as much as possible, and you almost have to start thinking about attack. You have to start thinking about what you're going to do on attack and how your playstyle is going to change. What are you learning from them? And like always, this timeout is very much thinking about what needs to change, because obviously it isn't working. I think that Snom is probably pissed right now. Sorry, excuse my language. But I bet Snom is pretty upset. Been just picked at the start of a lot of these rounds, and I think it's just been chance, honestly. I think that it's really just been pushing really far forward, and then it just happens that they're there. And there's never really been an opportunity to lurk or go to another site or anything like that. It's just been, you're there for the first fight, and you know, you get a pick or you get traded or things like that. But Snom's not really been able to participate in a lot of these rounds. So I think that the sort of intel to play a little bit safer, like Snom did just then, playing on site instead of maybe in garage where we were kind of being really aggressive beforehand. You know, maybe that's just something that needs to change, and I like that we were able to pivot that way. Whisper is going to fall, making it even. It's an even 4-4 right now. Everybody is pretty similar in health. I think the only difference is the fact that their Raze is a little bit hurt and our Sky is a little bit hurt. But they don't have any healers. They have no way to get any of that back. Ooh, a really nice ping onto the Raze here. We can hopefully push on into the trip. Just having to spray through these smokes and see if you can't find anything. I think that the initial trip was behind a little bit of a wall, but Ixora had already run out of ammo by the time that he needed to pivot to the second trip, which was more available. So it's really unfortunate that it just the cards fell the way that they did. But this is still winnable. This is Ixora is going to be picking up a Vandal in Heaven. It's just us in Heaven now, so we're all pretty grouped up. Looks like Ixora is going to try and take out CT while Blimey and Pierogi go on to move on to ramps. I think both are going to face their own oppositions here, but maybe Ixora a little bit faster. Going through the smoke. Not sure if Raze saw that. Peeking out, the Raze does see and is going to be able to take out Ixora, but Pierogi able to take out 2. Not able to take out all 4, though, and nobody really expects them to. I hope that while that round was a loss, we did understand that went a little bit better. There was a lot of these rounds that it's getting like 4-2, and we're not able to really do anything at that point whenever you're down so many people. But that round, 2 or I guess 3, I think that was a 3-4. 3-4 is completely doable. You can definitely pull that back, and I think that it went a little bit better. While it was still a loss, it went a little bit better, and I hope that we can learn from that. They're gonna go pretty heavy on B here. I have noticed that while they do like to commit a lot of utility, they also like to rotate pretty heavily, which is not a great combo, just talking about economy-wise, but they sort of have the economy to stretch that sort of playstyle at this moment. Raze is going to blast back onto the site. Snom needs to play a little bit forward or a little bit backwards. Just sort of flipping in between is maybe the detriment there. I think the indecision, the hesitation is what got her. But Whisper in Heaven gonna have to try and look down with the Sheriff and get like a nice head tap or something like that. The dog is going to spot the Raze. Not going to jump on the Raze, but is going to know that the Raze is there. Hopefully that Boombot can find that KO. It looks like it does, but KO able to take it out. Ping is going to hit Ixora, and Whisper is going to fall as well. Hopefully this ultimate reaches pretty far onto the site. It's not going to make it all the way to Garage, but it is going to push them off of the site. They're not going to try and contest this, and we're going to be able to get to bomb. They need to retake this as fast as possible, but they've taken over Heaven control. So there's not really much you can do, because while we were focused on pushing them back, we did manage to push them back, but our people in Heaven ended up dying, and that meant that they could just fill the spots that we were holding. And you know, doing that just sort of gave them more advantages. Advantages. But going into this next round, it is getting kind of close at the moment. I believe with one round, it will make it to where that SVU will have a possibility of going 11-1. So hopefully we can maybe pump the brakes on that a little bit, and we can prevent them from getting any more momentum. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's 10-1, but not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous because of just how aggressive we're still playing. I think that we are playing more defensive than we were. Blimey holding Heaven instead of something like ramps. That wall goes up. Viper gonna walk through it, and we're gonna be able to find that pick. I was gonna say nervous about how forward we're playing, but I guess they don't really expect it. I guess I'm just thinking about, man, we need to play more about the sights or the rotates or things like that. That Molly just catching Blimey at a really bad time. Whisper is going to fall as well. It is just Snom. That wall not really able to help in the position that it's currently in, and it's actually going to disguise the KO's noise. And we're, very nice that we're able to find that. 3-1, it's very doable, especially with the health situation. It's not the worst. You're not going to get absolutely taken out by a single bullet from a Marshal or anything, but it does look like that Cypher is going to be able to spot Snom. Not really able to do much about that. There's just so much you have to clear. And just because you didn't see that pixel move in the left peripheral of your eye, then it's, you know, it sucks. But this is going to, we're getting pretty close. This is round 11, which means that this round is whenever we need to save if we want to have that funds for round 12. Round 12 will be the sort of round before halftime, and we really have to play for attack. It's unfortunate that we aren't able to have as much of a lead as we like, but comebacks are absolutely possible. If we are able to take this attack back, it'd be an absolutely fantastic game to watch, and I'm really excited to see if we're able to do something like that. Are going to be pretty ult heavy, though. They're going to throw the KO ult at us. Ixora is going to fall, but Blimey and Snom are going to get picked. Blimey gets picked herself. So this is still even. It's 3-3, and we don't have any ults. So it's a little bit scary. The bomb, it has been planted. Whisper just having the sheriff, I completely understand the hesitancy to rush onto point. That Cypher is going to start neural thieving you. Neural thieving? Not sure how you'd say that, but you know, just with the pings, it's now you even more are hesitant to push out, not expecting anyone to be in hell. You need to peek this, and I think getting a shot, but not anything that's gonna get you any kills, anything like that. You know, now getting into this is the final round of the half. I think that, you know, while it is winning this would make it 2-10, which isn't not great numbers. At the same time, having as much advantage as possible. It's the difference of being able to mess up one round. So I really think that this round, as hopeless as this might seem to some people, I foresee a comeback as a possibility. Maybe not a guarantee, but a possibility. But it's really going to require this round to be one that we're able to pull off.
Obscuring vision.
I think they're playing really defensive here, and they maybe a little bit of an argument about who takes bomb, but they are going to push forward a little bit. Ooh, not able to find that Viper. Snom is not going to be able to play on this final round of the half. Blimey has this Odin. It's a really big gun for this round, and it's nice that we were able to get together the funds to do something like that. But at the same time, I almost have to ask, is it something that should have happened? The Odin is a very unwieldy beast, but Pierogi able to find two with the Vandal. Absolutely fantastic. There is another, and you see the Cypher able to take out that Cypher. Pierogi with the 3K. Absolutely fantastic. That KO's incredibly hurt, and the Viper is tagged. I think that the bomb's on the ground. You don't have to push this. Blimey able to take out Viper. Now you just have to sort of push this. Nice. Whisper able to take out the KO. It's really nice. I was maybe a little bit hoping that Pierogi would get rushed so that Pierogi could get an ace. I was a little bit hoping for that, but you know, the 3K is when you start to dream. The 3K is whenever you start to have hope. But like I said, winning that round, pivotal. Absolutely pivotal. Center is now allowed to mess up 2 rounds. They have to win every single round. They are only allowed to mess up twice. So it's gonna be close. It's definitely gonna be close. But I have really high hopes. I have really high hopes that we're able to pull out a good attack side. I'm not 100% sure on which side is our pick, whether this was our map or our side, but you know, I'm hoping and I'm dreaming. And it does look like they're gonna go for a default setup while we set up pretty heavy on A. I don't mind this. I think that on classic round, being able to run up into things like heaven and stuff like that, that's really nice. But we're gonna get pinged. We're gonna get pinged by that suppress. Nice, able to just gun down that KO. Dog is gonna help us for a recon. Strange, got canceled. Not sure what was up with that. Maybe just we wanted to rotate and we realized that the dog was not something that we necessarily cared about. Ixora is in a little bit of a fight here. That Molly going out, making this fight having to happen a lot quicker. Unfortunate that that Ixora wasn't able to find anything there, but at the same time, you know, still evening it up. We're not at a loss just yet. Lemmy does have the Sheriff. A little bit of an upgrade. Ooh, unfortunate. Snom and Blimey gonna get taken out by the Rays. Gonna be a 3K for the Rays. And we are going to have to figure out what to do. We have the bomb, but do we take it mid? And it looks like we're going to try to take it mid. Not able to find that Viper. You know, you go mid with low people. Nice, able to prevent the ace. Well, that's not going to win you any rounds, but it is going to prevent that ace. Oh, I take it back. I take it all back. Everything I've ever said. Hopefully we can expect this Cypher. Please turn right. Not able to expect it. You know, really unfortunate. Who would expect that? The lurking Cypher. But I was gonna say it's really nice that you're able to prevent them from getting that ace, because one, you know, nobody likes to see the enemy team get an ace, but also when you're looking at things like money and financial status and things, that's the same thing. Ult economy and financial status. You know, getting an ace not only puts you way ahead, but an ace on pistol round would almost set the pace for what's left of this half. So having to play really forward. This has to be a force buy. This cannot be a save. If they lose, then that means that they're not allowed to mess up ever again. Pulling that out in front of the little entryway there is a little bit scary. Nice, able to really just take over garage. We're able to get into garage, but I think that getting out of garage is kind of where we're struggling. Snom going on that lurk and not able to find anything. You know, with the stinger looking up into ramps. You know, it's kind of not to say that you've lost already peeking it, but you're certainly at a heavy disadvantage. You expect the Viper to be there and you're able to find a shot on the Viper, but not able to kill her. Sora is going to find the Cypher, though. Not able to stop the Boombot. 1 health. Back to the raise. Face to the KO. Can't really take it out. That's a judge as well. A single pellet from a million miles away, and that takes you out. You know, bomb in garage. They peek. Not able to get anything for it. This is going to make it 2 to 12 in SVU's favor. That means that if center is going to try and pull this out, they have to win 10 rounds in a row, not messing anything up after taking 2 losses in a row. So economy isn't great. Morale, I'm sure, is pretty shot at the moment, but you know, just you kind of have to pull it out. It's either you make it or you don't. In this situation, there is no like, oh well, we did good on that comeback, or we faltered here. No, you just have to make it all the way at this point. It's a decent amount of damage onto that Viper, but that's also a decent amount of damage on a Whisper. I think that pushing through here, being suppressed, I'm not sure who all is suppressed, but being suppressed is going to make it a little more difficult. The KO is right in front of the smoke. Hopefully we can expect it a little bit, but now it looks like he might be in the smoke. I'm not quite sure. Oh no, but the camera is going to find him. Nice, able to sort of deter him back. KO is going to be half health going into this. Looks like they're going to go for an A rotate. Nobody on B or mid anymore. I guess Raze is pushing through mid, but we are going to look for that rotate. Will we meet in sewers? It does look like Snom might run up on the Raze here with the judge. This is going to be incredibly close quarters battle, and that judge just a little bit more suited, especially whenever you can hear sort of the bee hopping through sewers, all the noise that makes. Pushing in through garage. We are down. We're down at the moment. And the ping going out isn't great. Hitting Blimey. That nade doing a lot of damage. This round is not looking good. It's going to be a heck of a comeback. KO behind. Expecting it. Nice. Able to find that head tap. Pushing on to site with a Spectre and deciding to go for Heaven is incredibly scary. But the Raze jumping onto site is going to give Ixora an opportunity to take out the Raze. But the Showstopper is going to take out one of ours, and the rest of us fall. Really unfortunate first map, but I hope that we were able to really hone on to their patterns, hone on to what they like to do, things like that. Focus on that and play against that differently in this next map and next 2 maps, hopefully. But I think that now is an opportunity to where we see our playmakers, and I definitely think that Raze was a problem. So hopefully we can focus on things like that, and we'll see everybody in map 2. Hello everyone and welcome to map 2. It's going to be Bind. Last map was Split and it went to SVU, Southern Virginia University. And so now we're going on to Bind. It's currently 0-1 SVU's favor, but hopefully we can turn this around. It was something that was a little bit of a devastating loss for him, to be honest, but I still think that in loss you can still learn. Something to note is Snom, for the, I think, first time this season, will be sitting this one out and will be taking just a backfill position. So we're going to have Blimey on the Sky, pretty standard. We're gonna have Pierogi on the Cypher, which I feel like that might have happened before, but usually that's Ixora's pick. Whisper is going to stick that Raze. Twice Stan is going to pick up the role of controller, and Ixora looking to lock in that Reyna, which I like I always say, that Ixora's Reyna is something that one of my personally favorite picks. But we'll see. I know that there's definitely some backlash towards Reyna players with just it being such a selfish duelist. It's so difficult to sort of justify being able to play it in a team composition without sounding like just I want to play the funny character that I top frag with. But sometimes you just need a character that you know can top frag, and Ixora's Reyna is something that is top fragged many and many times, tried and true method. But looking at just the team compositions and how this will run, I think that Brimstone on Bind is really good. I think that this is one of the few maps that Brimstone really excels at. I think that he can work on a lot of maps, but with the new sort of, with Breeze being in rotation really, and I would say even to an extent Sunset, Brimstone is just, I don't know, he doesn't have as much versatility as the other smokers, and this is one of the few maps that I think he's really, really good at. Probably one of his best maps. So I like having that Brimstone as a controller, and I'm hoping that Twice Stan can really pull out just a fantastic Brim. I think that putting other people on the controller is something that was talked about, sort of getting Snom off of the Astra so that Snom can play other positions, or as we see here, maybe even sit a game out, things like that. Fatigue and morale can definitely set in, and after that last round, I completely understand wanting to take a breather. You just kind of have to hope that other people can pull it through. And Ixora is going to start this off with the first blood of this game, to take one of them out and be able to heal from it. We know that Showers is clear, so we're gonna keep pushing forward. We are the red team. We are attacking, so it might be a little bit confusing. We're looking to take out the blue members. It looks like Jet is going to start peeking Showers a little bit. Pierogi is going to hold this, but Whisper is going to take out that Jet out of Showers. I'm going to be able to take out a second one. Going to be able to take out that Sky, peeking out a CT. Ixora going to be able to trade Twice Stan and pick up the 3. That's a really nice pistol round. Like I said, pistol round is kind of one of those things that's up in the air. And going against center, I do think that we do win pistol rounds quite a bit. I think recently it's been a little bit flip-flop, but that might just be Caster's curse because I started noticing a trend and mentioned it. But we were able to pick up this pistol round, and that's going to make it to where we have the financial advantage going forward. Yes, please. But we are going to have this financial advantage, and so I'm really glad to see that we're taking full advantage of this lead that we've gotten. We're pulling out the Bulldogs, we're pulling out the Guardians, things like that. And I really hope that we can find some really nice picks and we don't get caught too off guard. That flash, gonna be able to light flash it. Unfortunately, Whisper, Blimey, Twice Stan, and Ixora all get taken out really quickly. I think that flash popped as soon as Whisper blast packed, so blast pack was unable to see anything upon landing. Really just messed him up. And having to turn the flash and then still peek, it's really unfortunate, but I think that it's even. It's even at the moment, and I do think that we're gonna have to run pretty light in the pockets here. I think that this is gonna have to be a sort of horse buy, or what I kind of like to see here, which is just classics. I very much like the just classics play, but since we already got a win, they don't quite have enough to just completely throw out their guns and buy Vandals. It's not impossible that this could turn over into our favor, but it is in SVU's favor just a little bit with guns and things like that. But if Ixora can find one, then that means that there's a gun on the table for the team, and that means that Ixora is going to be full health. So this is completely turntableable. Turntableable? I'm coining that term right now. Coining that term that already exists that I'm editing. We've left Spike in market intentionally. That means that we can sort of go back and get it. If one of these sites doesn't really work, we can full pivot to the other site. Twistan getting smoked off. I wonder if you use the smoke to just get out. This is kind of a pinch that you've put yourself in, and it might be time to just skedaddle, but it looks like Ixora gonna hand the first fight here, and it just instantly gets, you know, they're playing really defensive, and it instantly just gets countered. Not countered as in Ixora is getting countered, but hey, we're gonna fight? No, we aren't. I'm gonna back out. I'm gonna use this flash, back out. I'm gonna use this dog, maybe push you back a little bit. Showing a little presence on both sides, so I completely understand the hesitancy to rotate. Twistan getting really hurt from that molly, not able to find anything, especially matched up against a Spectre.
30 seconds left.
The Bucky and Lamps is scary, and I think it might be a mouse tool that will help SVU later. Hopefully we can take out that Sky. Not able to take out that Sky. The Bucky is gonna come out of Lamps and take out. I believe it was Twistan, but I think I'm completely wrong. I think that was our Cypher.
10 seconds left.
Ooh, unfortunate. The one shot from the Bucky. It really is just a lottery weapon. But that's why I love it so much. But that is going to make it to where we are at a severe disadvantage, but not as severe as it could have been. Because of the fact that we won that first pistol round, we're closer in money than it would seem. We are actually going to buy rifles. This round, we were able to splurge. Maybe some of us are buying lights. No, it looks like a lot of us are buying heavies. I think 2 of us are buying heavies, and we're able to get full util. So we're a little bit hurt in the pockets, but because of the fact that they still can't quite throw out those guns, because we won that first round and we were able to get that little bit of an advantage, and we've been getting the picks along the way. These haven't been absolutely flawless victories from them. It's just making it to where we're able to keep that momentum just a little bit longer and preserve what money that we do have. This Bucky, it's scary peeking into it. Nice, but able to find that head tap. Blimey is incredibly hurt. Ixora did get taken out. Pierogi able to trade Ixora, though. Blimey's incredibly hurt. Pushing through showers is going to be scary. Deciding to back it up. Back it up. Pierogi a little bit deep. I think that the TP might be the way to go. They've decided to sort of hold it. And the TP gets popped, and I think that they're gonna instantly rotate to that. They're not gonna think that's fake or anything, but Pierogi did have the bomb, which means that was not fake. They are correct. Pushing onto the site is gonna be kind of scary because this is where Cypher was set up, and they've already rotated. TP goes out again, so they know that now the full team is going to be at B most likely. Just gotta take out that utility. Whisper blast packing onto site. Able to hopefully take out this raise. Nice. Whisper taking out the raise. Now you just have one in elbow and you have one in CT. Boombot's gonna catch the one in CT. And we're going to use more utility just to stall that out. Not the best weaponry at the moment. Whisper does get taken out by the Sky. Hopefully that doesn't give up a gun. But Cypher is in elbow, so you have to be a little bit scared of, oh, is there flanks? And I think Pierogi is thinking that exact thing. Able to get that head tap onto the Cypher. Twistan able to get the nice pick onto the Sky. This is close. Like I said, just because you take a loss on the first map. And even, I would go as far as to say, if you were to get 13-0'd and you get an opportunity to play this team again, it's not going to be the same. It's absolutely not going to be the same. You learn from your experiences, even if they're failures, and I would say especially if they're failures. So, because of the fact that we lost that first map, I think that means that we're playing into this a lot differently, and we're playing into this with more planning instead of just, all right, let's analyze how this map goes. Now it's, we've analyzed, now here's a plan. And I think that was definitely utilized in the break that we took in between rounds. It's 2-2. It is still even. But I think that this is completely doable. It doesn't catch the trip. They're able to take out the trip while Whisper is able to sort of buy time. Bought the Judge, and it was able to showstopper that Cypher. Backed out of the smoke as soon as that raise B-hop passed. Incredibly scary. We don't know that there's one elbow, but we can sort of assume. Pierogi getting taken out. Nice, able to take out that Sky. That's their Sky down. There's going to be one in elbow. Ooh, just too many things to look at from where Ixora is holding. Having that Judge, you maybe just want to hold and wait for them to maybe try bomb or things like that. Ooh, the orbital strike goes out. Going to stall that bomb defuse, and there goes the molly. This Jet might decide to push Twice Stand, not expecting Twice Stand to be to the right. The Molly preventing the defuse. Nice. Twice Stand able to pick up that double. Absolutely fantastic play. Center has officially taken the lead, and I'm very happy for that. I think, like I said, you know, this is the start of a little bit of momentum that we're gaining here. It's not too much. It's just 2 rounds, so I wouldn't get super excited. But I think that, you know, we've maybe gotten over the shotgun shame, and we've decided to pick up things like Judge and Bucky. And I mean, they're in the game. They are certainly in the game, and you're allowed to pick them up and murder as many people as you like because they're broken. But I think that we were able to analyze what they were doing and hopefully change up our pace a little bit. Does look like they're going to run really aggressive with the knives here. They're going to be able to take out our controller. Not great. Not great that the one that we lost was our controller, but we still have that duelist to push on the site, so hopefully we can get a pick onto somebody that's equally as powerful to them. Not expecting the knives to come out. Blimey just gets taken out, but Whisper's able to make that trade. While we are still down, it's 3-4, we were able to take out the knives. We do have the Ixora ultimate. We have Ixora's Reyna ultimate, and we have the Neural Theft. Neural Theft is a little bit more niche, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult to use. That's just going to be for if maybe they're doing a really slow rotate, we need to know where they are, and we manage to get a pick. A little bit more niche, but nonetheless, it's an advantage that we have. They just have that showstopper. We show a little bit of presence on A, but Whisper getting taken out 2-4. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. Taking out the trip, having to rush forward, getting pinged, but able to take out the raise. Not even full health. Ixora not able to get back to full, but is gonna ult. Oh, position is revealed, but legs aren't coming out the bottom of the smoke, so this isn't something that you need to make super known. Sky ult is gonna go out. Ixora needs to pick up a lot here, especially with it being at such a disadvantage. You want to get the use out of this ultimate. Not able to find it. The flanking Cypher, taking out the Reyna and Pierogi. It's unfortunate that we used ult there and we weren't able to get anything with it, but at the same time, I think I would have done the same thing. I think that in order to take that advantage that you have and continue the sort of momentum that comes with it, I think that you pop Reyna ultimate, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you can't get anything with it. A lot of things to look at, and because of the fact that, like I said, in that situation, let's say that Reyna or Ixora is able to turn around and take out that flanking Cypher. That means that we can Neural Theft onto the flanking Cypher, and we have that major intelligence advantage. It's just going to be a matter of expecting the flank whenever they decide to do it. And honestly, that's just, if they never stop slow walking, there's no way to expect that other than just always looking behind you at all times, which has certainly been somewhat of a detriment looking at too many places in this series in particular. Ixora and Blimey and Twice Stand get taken out. And so does Whisper. It's just Pierogi, but Pierogi being able to find 2. That's a 3rd right there. Knows that one's heaven. And decide to just smoke that off once again, not expecting the one in flank. On one hand, you know, it sucks that Pierogi was going to have to ace there. On the other, Pierogi's already kind of proved that that's something that's possible. Able to sort of push forward and get these 3Ks and find momentum where there really isn't any, where you're completely sitting still, stagnant, no ripples in the water, and then Pierogi is able to just find a pick that moves into another pick, that moves into a plant, that moves into another, and just things like that. I think everybody's really good at doing that, but I just think this series that I think that Pierogi's just locked in at the moment. Pushing this is a little bit scary with the fact that they know that they can be aggressive with their economy, so they're probably going to play aggressive on both A and B, and it does look like they are. Ixora getting peeked a little bit. Ixora's going to have to get a kill in order to heal back all that damage. We do have the Sky, so we'd be able to heal that way, but just much more convenient if Ixora is able to use just one ability, get that full health back. But I completely understand not doing that. Sorry, not doing that, but not sort of not begging this guy, not begging this guy after running all the way across the map. Pierogi getting taken out, Ixora getting taken out as well. I think it might be time for a rotate. That dog, you know, it's revealing your positions. They're throwing the util to stall you out, and that way they can just push forward and get a flawless round on you. At the moment, it is 5-3. We're getting close to one round not being able to be down at halftime. Now I'm calling that timeout. I think this is important. I think that this timeout has to be called because this is the moment that really decides the rest of this map, and I would say decides whether or not center stays in the series. This half has to be won. I don't think that it's impossible that we have a really good defense, but I think that in order to count on that, to say, yes, we are definitely going to have a really good defense, that's. Can you really say that? Can you really with 100% certainty say that? You can't think like that. You have to at least get it even on this first half. And 5-7 is not the biggest detriment, but at the same time, it's still a detriment, and you want every advantage possible. We've seen how deadly that this team can be, so having the advantage is absolutely critical whenever it comes to just how much you can mess up these round times. And if you're 6-6, that means that you can mess up a lot more than you can whenever you're 5-7, and that's just. I know it seems kind of obvious, but I think that there really should be a lot of emphasis put on the rounds remaining in this half. While comebacks are possible, and technically we could go 9-3, and I still think that center would have a chance. It's just one of those things where you hope that it never comes to that. You hope that it's going to be an even half, or it's going to be in center's favor, or anything like that. But you can never really count on it. The Dow goes out. He's going to be able to recon. Looks like they're pretty light on A site, but Cypher is set up, so that's a lot of the util going to be able to sort of. You're going to gain some intelligence. Ooh, that ping goes out. Oh, just in front of heaven is really unfortunate. The smoke goes down, revealing you to the op. There is one flanking. Looks like we expect it, but it also looks like we're a little bit exposed. Pierogi able to take out the jet there. It is now even. Because of the fact that they decided to get really aggressive, our misplay with the operator was able to be turned into sort of a draw. Whisper with that Bucky. Tried and true. Always love to see it. But I think that this might not be the time for it. You know, you can't really get anything for it in this position. You now have to rotate all the way across the map. And I think that B is attuned a little bit more for it. Oh, the showstopper taking out Twice Stand, but Slimy able to even that up and then pick up a better gun. So I don't think this is the worst. 3-3. A Whisper not able to find anything with that Bucky, but we're able to prevent that dog from concussing anyone. Seekers go out so we can find out where they are. None of them lurking quite yet or flanking or anything like that. Blimey able to get a fantastic pick. We know that there was one in Hookah, and we know that there was one in CT. It's like we're pinging that bomb. We want to flash out. It's like, oh, a lovely flash. Walking the movement in accuracy is really unfortunate. This is absolutely critical how Pierogi plays this. It is halved, so Pierogi will not have a lot of time to respond. Oh, it's just stalling just a little bit too long. You never expect the first tap to be the defuse. But I don't know, we get the pick, and it's nice to get the operator out of that Omen's hands, but at the same time, there's a very decent chance that they have enough money to pool together and get another one. And, you know, I don't think the operator was super important, but it certainly was scary. It didn't exactly get to be used in a way that's, in a way that operators sort of thrive in. It was a guy got pinged through a smoke, and so they were able to get a pick. You can do that with a sheriff as much as you can do that with a judge or a Bucky or an operator. So it's one of those things. I don't think that operator got to be used to its fullest potential. So where it stands in this game is still pretty up in the air. There's a lot of presence and lamps here. Showstopper comes out not able to find anything. Really unfortunate that their showstoppers have been pretty deadly and ours not quite as much. Xora able to get that pick though. We now have the lead in this round. And bomb is down. The operator is incredibly scary. Unfortunate that Whisper gets taken out, but it's really nice that Whisper's able to take one with him. Xora's gonna be able to maintain that lead.
One enemy remaining.
Xora picking up a third. Last one in heaven. Ooh, fantastic kill through a smoke. An absolutely disgusting kill through a smoke in order to take out an operator. Absolutely fantastic. I just bit the snot out of my lip just now after that happened. But unrelated entirely, we now have Empress. We now have that Reyna ultimate, and I hope it gets used a little bit more. I know that last round, of course, it was unfortunate. It was a little unfortunate the flank that was pulled in order to sort of cut our ultimate short and win that round. But 6-4, at this moment, Center can only tie this up. Center cannot bring the lead back. Center can at most tie this up, and this ultimate might be what decides that, because the judge close right, taking out Ixora before that ultimate can be used, and the judge is gonna take out Twice Stan as well. There's one more in that alleyway, but nice, able to take him out. Blimey's able to sort of make that trade. It's not the best trade, but it's a trade nonetheless. Currently 3-4. It's doable. We've showed presence on B, and now a lot of them are evacuating from A, but hopefully we can predict this Omen. Hopefully we know that this Omen is going to be here. Nice, able to peek that Omen just as a Sheriff, so it's not going to be too detrimental. Evening it up, 3-3. No ultimates on the board for either one, and a near mirror pick here. The only difference is we have Whisper on the Raze versus their Jet. So this is absolutely critical. This is just going to be a positioning difference, and how we can play these. That trade's going to be one of those things. Whisper's incredibly hurt here, and is going to do a little bit of damage before getting taken out. Pierogi pulling out the 2. Nice, that's pulling out Util as soon as Pierogi peeks. That's incredibly nice. Knows that sky's heaven and decides to take the fight on the low ground. You know, just one of those things. Just you are in the one-on-one, and you decide to take it in this position whenever you could have taken it in another. You could have backed up for bomb. You didn't have to push the guy in CT. And while you did get the kill on the guy in CT, could you have gotten him in a different position that's better for that next fight? One of those things that keeps you up at night. I should have zigged when I zagged, and all these certain things. But it's very critical to not be too hard on yourself, especially in moments like this, to where it's the last round and a half, and you need to keep that morale up. You need to keep that mental up so that you can pull it out, so that you can pull out the 7-5. The ults need to be popped here. I think Orbital Strike is probably going to get saved for post-plant, but I like to see that Empress being popped pretty early. Able to take out the trip. The eye goes out. There's one close left. Takes out Ixora's ultimate instantly, and Blimey, Twice able to find it, but once again, that's 2 for 1. It's not a great trade. It's not ideal. The Seekers are going to be coming from the other side. Whisper gets taken out. It's just 2 for us. Now it's just Pierogi. Not able to find any more. That is going to be the first half down. So now what's going to happen is the teams are going to switch sides, and we will be defending, and I really hope that our defense is really strong. I think that it's something that we work on, and it's something that you always work on attack and defense, but the Reyna is something that I've noticed. You can be aggressive with the Reyna. You can, fade in, fade out, zip across the map like Spider-Man because you're invincible. But where the Reyna excels is the ability to get a pill and, like Batman, get a kill, and like Batman, just sort of fade back into your team or into CT or into a position that there's no way that they could feasibly just chase you down without running into what could be your entire team. So I really like that sort of play style, to where you can play really careful while also being just an absolute danger.
Launching smoke.
Looks like we're going to be playing a little bit further back with our controllers, which I respect that. With Brimstone having such limited range, it's really important that Brimstone's able to get whoever is coming towards him. But it's unfortunate that we were able to that we lost one there. Our team is now blue, and so that might trick some people up. But we did lose one, but Blimey able to even that up. Having to just back up through the smoke, and Ixora's going to be able to find that pick. That's really nice. Able to take out the trip. They're on site, and they have planted. That Molly goes out and is hitting Cypher, so we're able to flush him out of there. Ixora getting that pick onto the Cypher as well. And a nice head tap for a 3K. That's really, really nice. Twice Stan being where he was when he was, being there at CT to sort of bait out, I don't quite remember who was that peeked him, but to bait out the person that pushed into CT, and then also being able to molly the tube, and even though you lose who's standing next to you, you guarantee the kill. There's still a chance that Cypher is able to leave tube and then take out Twice Stan. Not standing in a molly. Not standing in a molly where they're constantly taking damage, can't pull back, has to pull forward, all these different factors. And so Twice Stan, the when and where, absolutely critical. Played it perfectly. I don't mean to take away the shine from Exora at all. That Reyna did absolute work. I think that was a 3K on that one. We're gonna push in through hookah here. More emphasis on hookah than there is on the Pentagon, but the Garden. But they're already going to be on site. We're going to be able to see that they're on site, but we can't really do anything about it. That Jet being really aggressive, taking out Twice Stand and Exora. Those are two really big players. Rogi as well. It's just Blimey and Whisper here. Both on opposite sides of the site. And Whisper with just a Bucky, and Whisper being pinged. The flash goes out, Blimey unable to do anything with it. The nade goes out, blast pack. Ooh, an unfortunate sort of slow that prevents that blast pack from really going anywhere. You know, big dreams. You always have to dream big, but maybe that one didn't work too well. That one wasn't the best. It happens. If I had a dime for every time I've messed up a blast pack, then I'd be a millionaire. And that's coming from somebody who was a Raze main for quite a while. But that doesn't matter. 9-5. So Center is still a little bit behind. Center is going to be 4 rounds behind, but I don't think it's anything that's... It doesn't need to be worried about a whole lot, especially whenever Whisper can pull out outlaw shots like that. Who knew? Who knew Whisper would be so good at all the funny guns? Oh, they're pushing Exora out of showers, just being so hyper aggressive, having to run to behind triple. I think that running is the move. You know, you can hold that Marshall and they can dash and you can hopefully hit a shot, but if they have heavies, it doesn't matter, and if you whiff, then you die. So I think that's absolutely the play, is to push back all the way to CT. I would say even, you know, push up into heaven, get that high ground advantage. That's even a play that you could make here. That dog is going to go through, and I think it's going to see the Raisin Lamps, going to concuss the Raisin Lamps. The Whisper on the Outlaw can hopefully do a little bit of damage here. We're going to see the Cypher. Ooh, we know that there's one showers. That Raze takes out 2 of us. Takes out Blimey and Exora. We are down 1 in this fight. Gonna give the Outlaw to Twice Stand. See, hey, maybe you can do something with this. Why don't you take a peep? And so, hopefully somebody peeks here. Looks like Twice Stand is gonna push on with this Outlaw. Know that there's one there. Able to take that one out. Oh, but there's one up top. A little bit scary. Down to 1 bullet in the Outlaw. Gonna throw it back to Whisper. Rogi has this Marshall. It's close quarters, though. Yeah, it's a little bit difficult to get that pick. Whisper able to get a second Outlaw pick to make it a 3K. It's just Whisper now. Twice Stand did get taken out. Ooh, you just have to try and find that Jet. And I do think also that you still have to defuse. I don't know if there's enough time to defuse. But,
they're usually distracted once.
You know, who knew? Who knew that Whisper is so good at all of the goofy clown guns? Truly a predecessor, or a successor to me, a Bucky Outlaw main. But I really like the fact that we are pulling out sort of the guns that aren't being anticipated, and they're getting picks. They're getting absolute picks because, you know, they aren't anticipating them. I like the way that that's played. They're gonna have a heavy presence on B and no presence on A, but we are we're pretty deep on A. So hopefully those of us that are on B, they're able to defend and can defend this really well. I think that Pierogi being set up here is really nice because that Cypher is absolutely critical. That ping going, just why that's so important. Boombot getting taken out instead of the Raze, and the Raze is going to be able to take out Twice Stand because of it. Just a lack of intel. That Boombot is going to catch one on sight, one in Cubby. Whisper's got to reload. Hopefully we can find one here in Elbow. Whisper able to find another. Pierogi able to find one as well. Actually getting the lead in this fight. The Showstopper comes out, not able to peek all the way to the right. So there's one on site and there's one in Garden. With that Omen TP, so really now you don't really know where they are. The bomb is not down. The bomb is not down. That camera sort of just instantly getting taken out by that smoke, which is unfortunate. Not sure if that was premeditated or not. Looks like they are going to go for a plant while Omen tries to hold CT here.
Spike planted.
I've got your trail.
Oh, the Seekers go out and you can sort of tell where they are and how close they are. Omen throwing out the smoke. I'm not sure that hits. Oh, it does hit. Nice. But, oh, but Blimey and Pierogi taken out. despite the fact that that ping hit, that ping was almost like a bait. You go out and you're looking for the omen, and the sky is standing there waiting for you, and it's just too much. 11-5. Center's allowed to lose 2 more rounds. 1 more round if they don't want to go to... No. Center's allowed to lose 1 more round. Just 1. They are going to have to pull out 7 rounds in a row. And it's a little bit scary. They're able to take 1 L, but I think if 1 L is taken, then, you know, that puts us at a disadvantage that we can't really afford. The Bucky there is going to take out the dog, revealing the Bucky, but at the same time, what are you going to do? It's a Bucky. Are you going to peek it more or less? You know? But that Bucky not able to get much. We get a little bit too overzealous with it. We decide to use that ultimate, but we reveal ourselves by shooting the Boombot. Stan getting taken out as well. Neural Theft going out and is going to be able to ping the fact that the rest of our members are on the other site. We are rotating, but it might be just a little bit for not taking out Pierogi there. Yeah, and that's going to be a flawless. These duelists have been pretty insane, especially this Jet on this map here. Now they are going to have to win 7 rounds in a row. No losses or anything like that. I think that this will be a rifle round for us, so we'll have that advantage at the very least. But in order to win this map and stay in this series, we're gonna have to win 7 rounds in a row. Incredibly scary. But we're pretty close to some ultimates, so I hope that that's something that we can play off of. It's something we have the opportunity to play off of. It's always something that we're looking to play off of, but like just as we saw before, that Cypher ultimate is so situational that to find yourself in the prime position for it is so rare. And I really hope that the stars just align and we're able to do something like that. The smoke's going out. We know that they're on B. It looks like we're already pretty heavily on B. That trip hitting the omen, but once again sort of acts as a bait. You peek out into 3 people because you're looking for the omen. It's just greed. Xor and Blimey able to even it up though. 3 on both teams. With that flash going out, gonna make Xor absolutely blind, not able to find this guy, but Whisper's able to take out that Raze. The Raze has been absolutely deadly. Whisper taking out the Cypher as well, but Whisper gets taken out in the process. It's a 1v1, both skies. You just have to try and find this, and it's really unfortunate. GG's SVU, and GG's Center. Through all the games that we've had this season, and this game especially, I think that, you know, just it's really nice that we're able to do this and things like that, and we were able to have so much fun. Yeah, I think that game was certainly something. I really like the second map, how we were able to really pull it back. How does this happen?
Folks, in just a moment here, we're going to have a little post-game interview with our captain, Lorelei Watson. So stay tuned for just a couple minutes as we set up for that.
Hello, everyone, and this is the post-game interview. This is with Snum or Lorelei. How do you think that that game goes different? If you get to play it again, what do you change? What's the number one thing that you change?
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a good question. Okay, I have two answers. One is a joke answer, and that would be like, I wish the room wasn't so cold when we first started playing. And then I guess my second, more legitimate answer is um maybe respected the other team a bit more. I think we don't like comparatively speaking put too much effort into seeing like who we're playing against, and this team in particular is like huge. There's a huge rank differential. They seem to have a lot more experience in terms of like their compositions and running certain executes on sites and stuff. Like they seem to have really strong combinations of util, like we saw in that last round. Clearly there was communication between them in terms of like, oh, when are we going to use util to clear what space, and like if we flash, like who's going to peek off of it. It seemed like they had really strong communication, and I think that something that, yeah, basically I think we should have paid them a little bit more respect and maybe done better research to understand, how sweaty they were going to be.
Uh, yeah, I think there's definitely some moments, especially on split,
Mhm.
to where we play really aggressive and it just leads to a really early pick, and that's always frustrating. It's always incredibly frustrating whenever things like that happen.
Mhm.
Um, what do you think? Sort of moving forward, of course, I will say, do you have anything? I should ask you this. Do you have anything that you want to say about this game specifically before we move on to sort of a broader topic?
About the split game.
Yeah, about just the whole series.
Oh, about the whole series? Honestly, okay. So like, well, oh, wait, okay. So are you asking me about the game, or do you want me to talk about the whole series
Sorry,
right now?
the game against SVU. This
Okay,
game that we've just played. The
that's
two
what you want me to
maps.
say first.
Yes.
Okay, okay.
I
Well,
was saving the final bit for
right, right, right. Okay, yeah, because I do have something to say with that too. But for the split game, I think, yeah, their playstyle were very much like just like rush in and just like tap heads. And I think as soon as they realized that they kind of, to be fair, like outclassed us quite a deal, like in terms of just their experience and their teamwork, and their util. I think once they realized that it was pretty easy to like kind of disregard our util, and they really capitalized on our poor positioning. I mean, I know for me in particular, um, I think that I have a little bit of like ranked brain, so like I don't respect them, and I think I got caught out a lot of times in defense too because like, like I consider myself like an aimer, so that I'm just gonna like swing them and I'm gonna kill them even though I'm playing controller, which is
click on their head. Just
yeah,
click the
I'm just
mouse on
gonna
their
click
head.
their head, yeah. And I mean, to be fair, that is exactly what I've been doing like for every other game in the series. It just happened to be this game. I cannot really, you know, fulfill the role of being the aimer of the team. And in that regard, I think I just kind of like fumbled the bag. But yeah, I think positioning and I think their ability to capitalize and punish our aggression really, really effectively is probably the most like the main reason why Split went so poorly, I would say.
And does that extend further into Bind as well?
Um, Honestly, I think Bind it was a little bit of a different thing because I think we played smarter. It's just that it's really just a question of like being outclassed, I think, because when you have so much more experience as a team and when you have so much more like I guess game sense when you because if you're a more experienced player, that's just something that you learn. And so they were making way less minor mistakes that are able to be capitalized on. And I think at the end of the day, fundamentally, winning a Valorant round is about capitalizing on the opponent's mistakes. And when we make so much more like errors or like faulty plays, like they seem unimportant in the moment, but they start to add up. And then round after round, the enemy team is quickly continuing to like capitalize on those tiny mistakes. And I think for Bind, we had definitely, I think, stronger communication, and more collaboration in terms of, because I mean, I was in the coach lot for the second game and I was listening to them, and I think that they were doing a lot better of communicating and trying to play safe. Um, but yeah, it's tough when the enemy team is very much able to just kind of, again, just punish you, um, for getting caught out or making a mistake, or using util at the wrong time.
Right. Uh, and now we can sort of broaden it even further out. As somebody who has been here as long as the Valorant team has been here
Mhm.
from the very beginning, what are your thoughts on just because you are a senior, and so this is the end of the season. This is the end of Snom being on the team, which
Oh my god. Okay.
but
Damn.
do you have any final thoughts to uh the end as it is for now, for not only the season but for you kind of being a part of this team?
Mhm. Well, I mean, so the past 2 years that I feel like I've participated in the program, I think the first team that we had was, I guess we definitely weren't okay. So we're basically in the same situation where we're being placed in emergence 2 times, but it's this tricky thing of like kind of balancing the degree of experience and rank. I think that the way that the divisions are organized is a little bit wonky, I guess, just because like if you think of how good like we were last year, being put into the same division and being expected to have the same chances, with this team, who we were definitely the underdogs within this series. I mean, every single other team that we played was better than us, like just in terms of their rank, in terms of like the amount of experience they had, whether or not they had like an Immortal 3 coach to like tell them what to do the whole game. Like the fact that we were just the underdog and we tried our best. We did get one game, which honestly is great for us. And just the sheer fact that there were so many games that were just like neck and neck. Like games where like the opponent definitely just outclassed us in terms of like rank, in terms of experience, in terms of whether or not they had a Immortal 3 coach in their ear. Like, but the fact that we were able to get so many rounds on those teams is what I think I'm the most proud of, because like like we were the underdogs. It's like we're obviously not gonna win, but we tried our best throughout every game. And I think that I'm extremely proud of the progress that I've observed my teammates making the more that we played. Because if you saw us last semester, you'd be like, whoa, these guys are really bad. But now, in terms of this series, like I think that everyone has improved so much, and getting to like watch that improvement happen, like seeing everyone learn to be better communicators, learn different strategies on how to like win around. Like just one note is like in terms of like doing something like sneaky or like coy in order to like win around, like just making really smart, um, almost selfish plays that end up being round winning plays. I've seen like everyone's confidence kind of bloom and grow. And I think that in this semester, I think that the fact that getting to witness that and getting to see like everyone's confidence and strengths really come out is what I'm most proud of. Because at the end of the day, like it doesn't matter, whether or not like we win the whole thing, whether or not we qualify. I think what I admire the most is my teammates' ability to just grow and adapt and change, especially when you are kind of being set back every game, just from the rank differential, from being outclassed. Like it's very much,
Sort of looking at an uphill battle and
mhm.
still being able to progress and things
Yeah,
like that.
because I think it's positive. I didn't think that we view our series in like, oh, we got crushed, because we didn't get crushed. It was actually pretty fair, and we did our best, and I think we showed out, and that's what really matters the most to me. And I think that's what we did. I think it's what we accomplished.
Fantastic. Lovely. Well, this has been the week 7 final sort of game of the. This is not playoffs, but this is, I forget what this section is called.
Qualifiers.
Qualifiers.
The season.
The
The
season.
There's not a name for this one, but
It's not the preseason. It's not the postseason. It's the season.
I suppose. But yeah, it's been an absolutely fantastic season to watch. I've been able to sort of participate in a lot of these games, and I can definitely, even though I'm not a part of the comms, I'm able to see that growth nonetheless in the plays and stuff like that. And so I think it's been fun for us as viewers, and I hope it's been fun for you guys as players. And yeah, I just want to ask any final thoughts towards anything.
I think we had a lot of fun. I think we played for the most part to have fun and to grow personally. I think that we did that. So yeah.
Lovely.